are live. Hello. Yeah, we did it. It has already been a journey just getting here. I'm so excited for today's live. This is my friend, Dr. Emily.
Hey.
Well, I have invited Dr. Emily here. This is her first live on YouTube, first of all.
It is. I'm really nervous
She's
right
nervous. She's been preparing for you all day today. So I think you all should feel incredibly special. And she's going to work her magic. She's a magic human being, magic healer, a medical doctor. I'm going to let her introduce herself fully in just a second. But before we introduce Dr. Emily, I want you all to introduce yourself. So tell me what your name is and where you're from, what you've been up to, how's your Saturday been? If it's still Saturday where you live, probably for some of you, it's already onto Sunday, maybe even Sunday morning. Okay, we've got some Californians, some Ohioans. Cleveland. Someone from India, Eric. Someone just says nice.
What time is it in India right now?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, please tell us what time it is where you are. You need testosterone. Okay, we're not going to hear any insults on here. I will kick you out of my channel. There we go. I have Lotisa's run from Ontario. Hey, Ontario. Hey, Texas. Hey, Pennsylvania, Australia, Maryland. Straya? Do you know where Straya is?
I have no idea.
Either Northern California, Colorado,
Grass
Ventura.
Valley. Ventura. All right, local.
Do you see who it was? It's a friend of ours. They're signed in. They're watching live. Qatar, Los Angeles, Dallas, Fort Worth, Las Vegas. Dang, country. We have like America over here.
From Taiwan.
There we go. Northwest Ohio. We have multiple Ohioans. We've got an Alaskan. Can I say Alaskan? Hello, beautiful ladies. Hello, Texas, Zach. Hi, Chad. Hi, Montreal, Montana, Phoenix. Like, we have like
We've
all
got,
of
like,
North
all
America.
The states, right?
Yeah, we are like really representing. Oklahoma. I just drove through.
Oh, St. Louis. That's where I went to med school.
Yeah.
Very cool. Go Missouri.
I was going to say Kansas City is in the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you excited? Are we watching the Super Bowl tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, we are. Yes, we are. That's right, everybody. Also, everyone, let us know who you are rooting for in the Super Bowl tomorrow. Detroit, look at our hometowns are just representing. Tucson. Do women need to inject testosterone? We got you with that thumbnail image.
Yeah.
So
good question.
That's a great question. Which reminds me, we are going to be answering your questions. So think of your questions. We're going to start off with a little interview. I'm going to ask Dr. Emily some questions about testosterone. She's going to help me understand it because honestly, I've been trying to provide you guys with the best, highest quality information. But like I admit, at the end of the day, I'm not a doctor. Like I'm just going off of what I can study, and the research that I can do. So I'm so excited to have Dr. Emily here who really understands this stuff on a deeper level.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to ask you questions, or you're going to ask us questions. We're probably going to ask you questions if I'm honest. But let's just get started here. Let's hear a little bit about you, Dr. Emily. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Okay. So I am a family doctor that practices functional and integrative medicine in Southern California. I have my own medical practice called Sano Health here in Camarillo. And I have a real interest in hormones in general and how they affect women and men and the complex interplay between hormones and how we function. So yeah. And the reason why I think testosterone matters actually is because studies have shown that testosterone has been declining about 1% on average every single year since 1980. So that means a male that's 30 years old in 2000 actually has a testosterone level 20% less than a 30-year-old male in 1980, which is crazy to me.
Do you guys get that? Like, can you understand?
What? Yeah. It's just if you look it up, there's just this linear graph to age, year, decreasing testosterone levels throughout the year. Yep. Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah, which means that you probably have less testosterone at your age than your dad did at his age. Than your grandfather
You are not
did.
your father.
Yeah,
you're not your father.
You're not your good news, everyone.
You're not your
You're
father.
not your father. And
in many ways.
If you ever
good
thought,
ways
like,
and bad ways.
Right. If you ever thought, like, I remember my dad growing up and he was like ultra buff
Yeah.
or like ultra goal driven. I had tons of energy.
Ultra masculine.
Yeah.
Yep.
My mom was always like complaining because he was trying to get in her pants all the time. Like, he had more testosterone statistically than you are likely to have, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Can you share a little bit about why or what are some of the hypotheses why that might be?
And it's a really complex question, and there have been a lot of studies trying to determine why this is happening. I would say a big factor in general of why there's more chronic diseases and why our health in general is in a decline is because of pollutants in the form of chemicals, the plastics that we're exposed to, air pollution, especially living in Southern California. Also like xenoestrogens, or also known as endocrine disruptors. And these are like chemical structures that look like hormones in our body, but they're synthetic, and we're actually getting them from outside sources, and they're just causing chaos in our system, and they're confusing our bodies, and they mimic like hormones, but they actually don't have the same effect as hormones. So that, along with like micronutrient deficiencies. So diet plays a really key part to just health in general and our ability to synthesize hormones like testosterone.
Man.
Yeah. It's like, crazy.
It sounds like there's a lot of obstacles
Yep.
to overcome, right? Like it's like it's pollutants, it's food, it's like you know, stuff that's just in the air. We don't even know exactly like we're not even conscious of that we're taking it in, and we can't avoid it. So like no matter how healthy your lifestyle is, no matter how great you take great care of yourself, but you may live in a city that has a lot of pollution, or you know, there's endocrine disruptors that are just like in household products, right? I've heard from some fake scents. Scented products and
scented products for sure are artificial. They're man created in a lab, like you want to stick, if you want a scented product, I would say go with essential oils, something that's natural, it's been extracted from nature. Right. And kind of going off what you were saying in terms of like, yes, we live in a toxic world and it's hard to avoid these things, but there's things that you can do to optimize your body's ability to be able to detoxify and get rid of like some of the stuff, like we can excrete this. Like our body has a natural ability to want to stay in homeostasis and to want to heal itself. So there's definitely things you can do, like life hacks.
Yeah, life hacks.
Life hacks.
Excellent.
Yep.
So before we jump into what those are, why is it important that a man have, why even care about his testosterone levels?
Yeah. Oh, testosterone's like not only important for males, but females as well. It like promotes sex drive, energy, vitality, just feeling masculine like a man, like a mental clarity, bone health actually. And it's actually like an anabolic hormone, meaning that it promotes growth in general. And like other anabolic hormones in your body would be insulin and growth hormone. These things actually all build body mass and muscle and make you lean and decrease the amount of body fat that you have. So it really is a hormone that's found throughout your body. There's receptors all over your body. So you need it for many things. Yeah.
Okay, that's so cool. I didn't know that testosterone and insulin and growth hormone had things in common. I didn't realize that they fell into a similar category.
Yeah.
I did know that insulin and testosterone have a adverse relationship or reverse relationship.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So they've actually found that guys with low testosterone have an increased risk of developing diabetes or insulin resistance, which would be a precursor to developing diabetes. And it's kind of one of those questions where it's like the chicken or the egg, which came first. But we do know that there is a correlation between having low testosterone and a myriad of chronic diseases from depression, obesity, insulin resistance. Yeah.
So it's about so much more than just sex drive.
It is.
Yeah.
It's more than sex drive. It's an overall measure, I would say, of your overall health, your hormonal health and hormonal balance.
Wow.
Yep.
You're already blowing my mind. We just like barely got started. There's something else I want to ask you about, because one of the things that I'm most excited about right now in my life is that I'm able to offer my clients and everyone that's watching this a discount on getting their testosterone tested at home. Because there are so many reasons you might want to get tested at home. You may not have great health insurance, right? You might live far away from your doctor. You might work 9 to 5 and it's just hard for you to get in to get a blood draw. And I'm just so excited that this company approached me, and I don't usually say yes to those things, but I'm in love. I've done it myself. I've done the test myself. I did the female hormone, the male hormone, and the company's called Let's Get Checked. I put the link below so you can go to try Let's Get Checked, trylgc.com. And if you want 20% off of any of their kits, any of the entire website, not just the male hormone kits, you can use code Caitlin20. But one of the things that interested me the most when they initially approached me was that there's 4 different male hormone test kits. And the first one is just testosterone, right? And then the second one, I believe, is called Male Hormone Plus, and it tests testosterone and sex
hormone binding
hormone
globulin.
blind
SHBG.
SHBG. Thank you, Dr. Emily. Could you
Yes.
explain the difference between those two things?
Yes, absolutely. So testosterone is a hormone. It's a sex hormone, a sex steroid that our body makes. Sex hormone binding globulin is actually a protein that our liver makes. And most of the things that circulate in our bloodstream is actually bound to a protein molecule. So in general, when you test for levels of testosterone, there's the free level and then there's the total testosterone. So the difference between the two is the free level is it's just the free level of testosterone that's circulating in your body. Hence, this is the active hormone that can actually activate and bind to the receptors to cause the desired effects that you want, versus the total testosterone. And any testosterone that's bound to the sex hormone binding globulin is actually unavailable to be used in the body. So there's different things that can cause your sex hormone binding globulin to be high. So any sort of liver disease, like cirrhosis, if you're drinking too much, they've actually shown that just taking a lot of Tylenol, like if you've got like chronic headaches or pain that you're dealing with and you're taking Tylenol on a regular basis, that can increase your sex hormone binding globulin and decrease your free testosterone levels, which is what you really want to boost your overall testosterone.
Wow.
In the body. Yeah.
Oh my God. You're just reminding me that it's so much more complicated than we make it out to be, right?
Like
especially
the hormones,
when you
there's like the levels that you measure, there's like free and like bound and unbound, and how it's like affecting different receptors in your body. And
And you can't really get like a full picture, because like free testosterone tells you one story,
right?
Bound testosterone tells you another story. The two of them together tells you a better story, more complete story,
right?
In the test kit, I think it's oestradiol, which is they also in the more advanced test kit they also test for estrogen, which is one of like the most common forms of estrogen.
That's interesting. Yes, because
did I say that correctly?
Estrogen.
No, oestradiol.
Estrogen, estradiol.
Yeah, maybe.
Or estrone.
Those are the two kinds of estrogen, right?
Yeah, there's like 3 kinds of estrogens that our body makes, like E1, E2, E3. Either way, like the bottom line is that testosterone gets converted into estrogen with this enzyme called aromatase. So there's actually estrogen like blocking things that you can do, because what you find, especially with males that are overweight or obese, is that they have higher levels of estrogen, and you can see like increased breast tissue, for instance, or just decrease testosterone because there's a lot of aromatase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen in fat cells. So that's a reason why actually exercising is huge and increasing your testosterone levels, because you want to decrease your fat tissue in general to decrease the conversion of testosterone into estrogen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one thing I'd heard is that if you had too much testosterone in your body would start converting it into estrogen. Is that? Have you ever heard of that happening?
Yeah, like our body has such a amazing ability to self-regulate, right? And I believe that we try to maintain a level of homeostasis to the best of our ability, and we will pull like the nutrients that we need, whatever we need to try to be able to maintain that balance. But sometimes we're just being bombarded with, too much xenoestrogens, for instance, or we're just gaining weight and there's just too much aromatase. So we're like converting that testosterone into estrogen. So in general, you want to try to do things to optimize your performance. So like diet is a huge thing that we can all do. I like to think about boosting your body's natural levels of testosterone like a pyramid. And at the base of the pyramid would be nutrition, food, micronutrients. So like, what can you do? And in general, I promote a phytonutrient-rich diet, meaning you're getting plants as a foundation and a diversity of plants and all the colors of the rainbow, like Roy G. Biv.
Which doesn't mean you can't eat meat. It doesn't mean you
totally
can't
eat
enjoy
meat.
it.
Yeah.
We're going to have steaks for dinner
Yeah,
when we're
we
done.
got like some like ribeye from Costco the other day. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yummy looking
It's like
steaks.
thawing on the counter.
Right now,
like,
as we speak.
You gotta bring it to like room temperature.
Yes,
before you put that on the grill.
Throw it on the grill.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean you can't have other things.
You can have it all, but you have to incorporate the plants because that's what gives you minerals. That's what give you all the phytonutrients and the natural antioxidants that you can get. Because I believe in supplementation, but I look at that as the very like point of the pyramid, right? And it can be costly. There's so many supplements out there, and it's like, where do I even start, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true. It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And there's not like a lot of research on many of the supplements that we're using. So in general, I would say like listen to your gut, but we all know that greens and vegetables are good for you.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to know a whole lot about food. You don't have to be a dietitian. We have an idea.
Yeah.
Right. The majority of us know. And it's just about making little decisions all day, every day. Right. Because we're faced with decision, first thing in the morning, like, do I opt for a donut?
Right.
Or do I have, like a banana and an apple or something like that?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And like the more of those tiny little decisions that you make that support your health, think about each time that you turn down the donut or that you opt to have a salad with dinner instead of like, I don't know, a side of fries, that you're actually helping your body optimize your ability to make your own testosterone.
Right.
And
yes.
if that's not a motivator, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say like try to like your best to eat the healthiest that you can. Try to get a diversity of plants in your diet. Increase the amount of fiber because in general, lignans, which you find in beans and flaxseed, these are aromatase or estrogen blockers. So that would be helpful. Just increasing the amount of fiber in your diet.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Isn't it true that most Americans need more fiber in their diet?
Yeah. They actually recommend like 35 grams of fiber in your diet. And
a day?
A day.
A day.
And like, that is like 2 to 3 cups of beans. And
that's a lot of fiber.
And you've got to like kind of work your way up there. Yeah, like.
And can you supplement with fiber too? Could you like Benefiber if
totally.
that's hard for you to hit that level?
Absolutely. You can supplement with Benefiber. You can take things like flaxseed, which has like high density of fiber.
And makes your smoothies really thick.
Metamucil is a great thing to do. Yep. But like if you are going to supplement, I would say like a good quality multivitamin is a good place to start. And then if you needed other minerals on top of that, zinc and magnesium are really crucial to like testosterone health. Also, boron is another mineral, and vitamin D, which in general, as a society, like most Americans are deficient in vitamin D.
Yeah.
Like I recently had my levels checked, and I live in California, and I think I get enough sun, but it was like 20.
You were low too.
I was low.
And
Yep.
you know,
yep.
one of the things that inspired this whole conversation is that I went to get blood work done.
Yeah.
And I had to drive like an hour away, and then I had to drive an hour back, and then I had to pay $17 to valet park my car. And then I had to go interact with a bunch of people. And then I had to, it was just like the whole experience was
Just to get your blood work done.
Just to get my blood work done.
Dang.
Yeah, I had to go to 2 different places that were an hour away, and I had to pay money to valet because I was in downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
And that's the only lab
City
that was
life.
covered. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so
What was your level?
it was 20.
Yep.
I was 20.
Whoa.
Yep. My vitamin D level was
that's
like
crazy.
And
That's
I had 2 illnesses back to back.
Yep.
And my
Yep.
immune system
and
just
it was
needed
like
the weekend.
the height of winter in
Yep.
Chicago.
Yep. Exactly.
I would say like optimal levels, like in functional medicine, we aim for over 60. It's really hard to overdose on vitamin D.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say like most people, everyone out there should be supplementing with at least like 1,000 to 2,000 international units of vitamin D a day. It's a good place to start.
Yeah, especially if you're up in the Northern Hemisphere, which I know a lot of you are because we got a lot of Ohioans on this. Even you Californians,
Yep.
consider supplementing with vitamin D.
Even in California. I live in California.
Yep.
Mine was low. Yep.
All right. So number 1 tip for naturally boosting your testosterone is eating better.
Eating
Right?
better.
Super simple. You're going to eat anyway. So just eat in a way that supports your testosterone. And then you hinted at our number 2 tip earlier,
Yeah.
talking about.
I would say exercise.
Yes.
Like weight loss in general. And you really want to be stressing your body. So high intensity interval training. Also just like increasing the resistance and the amount of weight that you're using. The stress itself will boost testosterone levels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that so
Yeah.
cool to think?
Yeah.
Of course, working out is great. And if you just hike and you just walk, like that's better than nothing at all. But it's really the workouts that are stressful on your body
Yep.
that cause your body to really kick in to that natural, and it kicks in its production of testosterone, and it decreases some of the things you were saying earlier
Right.
that inhibit or prevent testosterone.
You just like in general, by exercising, you're going to lose weight, you're going to lose fat, you're going to decrease the amount of aromatase or estrogen blocker in your body, or increase the amount of estrogen blocker, and just overall boost your T levels.
And your mood.
Decrease the amount of estrogen. Yep.
Right? You'll increase your
Natural endorphins, your mood will be better.
Dr. Emily hit 100 workouts on her new training system today. Today
I
was
did.
100. Yes!
I like finally can do a pull-up.
Oh shit, girl, that's amazing. Yes, you can.
I'm like, I didn't think I would ever be able to do a
Is
pull-up.
it like
but I did a
this? You do
pull-up.
the underarm
I can do
pull-up?
the underarm.
Oh,
I can do
I'm
like
so inspired by you.
bidirectional, like
Wait,
the
show us your
regular
guns.
way.
Let's see. Oh, yes! If you enjoyed that, please give this video a like because that was the best. Bravo.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh yeah, the app I use is Fitbod. It's
Fitbod.
amazing. Yeah,
You should have an affiliate.
It's like
link.
I should. Yeah.
Okay, this reminded me. So working out, high intensity, heavy weight, like at the end of your range. Plus, you'll feel better about yourself, right? Around Valentine's Day, a little sneak preview for you attending the live stream. I'm going to introduce a free guide on confidence. Confidence in and out of the bedroom. I figured you could use that in time for Valentine's Day. Like a little confidence at dinner, a little confidence when you bring her home. But I believe that exercising in every single way boosts your confidence, and I think having more confidence, it's a beneficial
stronger.
cycle.
You feel good about yourself.
Yeah. And then you're eating better. Like it's a win. It's like wins all over.
Yep.
One of my other favorite ways to boost testosterone is actually by doing less, which is sleeping more.
Sleeping is so important. Like we need 8 hours of sleep a night. Like I don't care what people think out there. Like Yes. Like,
Not optional.
Need at least 8 hours. It like resets your like circadian rhythms. Melatonin goes up at night, cortisol levels go down. You need it to like regenerate and to just boost everything and just to reset and restore.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And the majority of testosterone is produced while you're sleeping.
It is.
Right?
And actually, like the best time to get your levels checked is first thing in the morning. that is when your testosterone levels are highest.
Is that they'll be the highest?
Yep.
So if you go to trialgc.com/Caitlin, you do the kit and you find that your testosterone is, and you do it first thing in the morning without having eaten, and your testosterone is low, you really are dealing with something here because that's the highest it's going to be all day.
Yeah. And it's always like with any lab testing, it's always important to keep in mind that there's always going to be variation.
Right.
There's not a perfect lab test out there. The levels of everything is constantly fluctuating. So I would say you want to track your testosterone levels over time if this is something you want to measure, and try to repeat the conditions when you get your levels tested. So if you like have 2 glasses of wine a night, like you want to do that the night before, and you don't want to change anything about that. You don't want to like go on a bender and then test your testosterone level.
So maybe
the next
don't
day.
test like Saturday morning one day and then like Sunday morning the next day, or like Monday morning and Saturday morning.
Too. Like if you get on average 7 hours a night, you want to test it once you've had that amount of sleep.
And be consistent. So if someone tests, what's sort of like a normal range for just like a healthy? I know it's going to change. Also, the older a man is.
Question. Yeah. I would say like in general, you want to aim for a level of around 600 or above is optimal. They have shown that testosterone levels do decrease with age. So, and they've done actually just like surveillance studies of what testosterone levels are in men that don't smoke, that have like a healthy body mass index.
Smoke tobacco.
That do not smoke tobacco.
Okay.
Yes. That have a healthy body mass index, and versus like men that don't. And in general, like men that do all of those things are healthy, optimized, no smoking, have testosterone levels about 100 over other males. So I would say in general, for males that are 20 to 40, a normal testosterone level falls in the 600 range. And then it tends to drop about 100 as you age. So when you're like 60 and above, you're going to see T levels in the 400s. But I say optimal level is at least 600. But to actually diagnose testosterone deficiency is a T level of 300.
300 or less.
But I would say, like, if you had a level of 350, which is still considered within the normal range, that's low. Like, you should be doing something about that. Like, you don't want to wait till the T level drops beneath that before you take action.
Right. And you would recommend that they take action, like the action that we're talking about.
Yep.
Right. So
always start with the diet, increasing the amount of sleep, the amount of exercise that you're getting, the micronutrients.
But why not? Why not just go for there's convenient gels, there's like little pellets that they inject now.
Yeah.
I mean, the ways that testosterone are available as a prescription it's becoming more and more easy to access. Like, why would you recommend someone start with what we're proposing here? Natural boosts.
Right. So, I love like bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. I think that it's a great tool to have after you've already utilized everything else, because even though it's considered natural and a hormone that our body naturally makes, it's still exogenous, meaning it's external, and we're having to take it every day and we're having to pay for that. So in general, actually, we don't recommend supplementing or giving testosterone, like bioidentical testosterone in any form, to males that are of fertile age, reproductive age, because if you've been on testosterone long term, it can actually cause infertility. It'll shut off your body's natural ability to make testosterone.
Oh, wow.
And that's just because your body's like constantly getting the T, and it's signaling to your pituitary gland to just turn that off, because everything is a signaling loop. Exactly. It's like, my testes don't need to make T anymore. I'm getting it constantly. So your body has no drive or stimulus to continue to make it on its own. Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, and I don't know what your demographic is, but I imagine most of them are possibly still maybe wanting to have kids.
Well, let's ask them.
Yeah.
All right. Who here? So first of all, I want to ask you a couple questions now, and I want you to let you know I'm going to get to all your questions in a minute here. Number one, for those of you who have gotten your testosterone tested, I'm curious to know what number you got. when your test or
Yep.
multiple tests. And I also want to know how old you are. And finally, and you can all say like, well, how old you are and do you want to have kids? Do you already have kids? Oh, it'll come up in just a second. And I imagine you see this because I hear a lot about guys supplementing testosterone in the gym because they want to get more jacked.
Yep.
Right. And that seems to me like it could be very dangerous if you're not also cycling off of it because you could be disrupting your body in the long term.
Yeah. It's like, in general, like taking that external T like shuts down your body's natural ability. There's no drive. Like your body doesn't have to make it anymore. Like, why would I do this if it's coming in externally? So in bodybuilders, you see a lot of hypogonadism, which is just shrunken testes because they don't have to make that testosterone anymore. Also,
that's why they shrink.
Yeah.
I got it. I never knew why they shrunk. Got it.
Yep. The volume actually shrinks. And there's other side effects like sleep apnea, interestingly enough. And just, yeah.
Wow. So let's see what people are saying here. We have a couple of people 60, 43 with kids, 55 with kids.
Okay. So
someone
like
who
supplementation age.
Yeah, someone who asked their doc to test their testosterone levels and she didn't, it sounds like she maybe didn't want to or didn't see the validity in that. And I would say this is a perfect example of how you need to be your own advocate. Or take it into your own hands and order your own test kit.
Or order your own test kit.
Yeah, just honestly like bypass that. And then you get to go to the doctor.
Easy these days. Yeah.
And they're all lab accredited.
Yeah,
These are the same tests, the same labs that your doctor would run for you or LabCorp would run for you. Like there's no distinction.
Yeah.
They deliver the results online, so you don't even have to, you literally don't have to leave your house. Like they mail it to you in 2 days. You ship it back 3 to 5 days later. You got your results online. You can print those off. You take them to your doctor and you say, here's why I'm concerned about my testosterone.
Right.
Someone said that they are 55 and their T level's 270. So based on what you said earlier, that's low for someone of 55.
Yep. And I would say like in general, a level is just like one data point in time.
Yes.
So like your T is 270. When did you get that checked? At what time of the day? If you repeated that another day, it might be 400 because there's always a range. So I would say, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel clinically? Yeah. Do you have a decreased sex drive? Do you feel foggy? Do you feel less of a man?
Do you feel fatigued?
Yeah. Like those would be reasons. And if any of those are true, then T supplementation might be for you, or trying some of the other things.
Some lifestyle behavior changes. Might be.
Yep.
Cool. Let's see what else we got here. Perfect according to my doctor. Great. Heck yes. Let's see here. Vincent's 54, has never had tested, but listening to testosterone subliminals. I don't know exactly what you mean. I wonder if he was referring to testosterone sublingual, something that you can take under your tongue, because I think that is one of the delivery
there's
methods.
A lot of different forms of testosterone that you can get prescribed. There's like the topical gel. You can do a patch. In general, those have more variation and fluctuations in your T level. The better forms, I think the number one form of testosterone, if you do decide to pursue with this type of therapy, is the pellets. And those actually just get
injections, right?
Yeah, they're like little like pellets they go into like your butt essentially.
Oh, and they go like right under the skin, right?
Yep, right under the skin. And they absorb slowly over time. And they actually have more of a kind of consistent level that you would get.
Oh, whereas the gel or something, it might like spike your testosterone.
But then it will fall off rapidly.
You can also accidentally get it on kids and women, which is one of the primary concerns that people have.
Yep.
Okay, I want to get to listener questions, but I'm really curious to know about the testosterone effect on women. Like, say someone did get some gel on you, or more likely, doctors do prescribe testosterone to women.
They do.
So what is the effect it has on women's bodies?
Yeah, I see testosterone being more of a relevance in women in a couple of scenarios. The most common being around perimenopause or around the age of 50 when women are going through huge hormonal transitions. And T levels, because women actually produce testosterone in their ovaries. Also, a couple other places like your adrenal glands do tend to decline with age, just like men. And testosterone actually does affect a woman's sex drive and their overall vitality, and also like their bone mass. So it's actually important for the prevention of osteoporosis as well.
Yeah. It sounds like it has kind of similar effects as it does on men.
Effects, yep. But like for some women that have like excess testosterone levels, like younger women that might have PCOS, for instance, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is pretty common. It's actually on the rise in modern day, just kind of like low T is on the rise. And there's a lot of theories that go behind that. But I would say excess T in women can cause hair growth, and you can get like a little beard. Just like a couple of like hairs.
The hairs, yep.
Yep. You can get like acne, oily skin, maybe a little more aggressiveness.
Right.
Yeah.
If you take it for long enough, you might notice some like other changes, your voice deepening.
Voice
hair
deepening.
thickening on your body.
Yep. And
clitoris getting larger.
Yep. Clitoromegaly. Yeah.
What is it?
Clitoromegaly.
Clitoromegaly? What? I love that. Yes, it's a scientific word.
Yeah, but you got to be like on high doses of T for that to happen.
Right.
Yes.
Those are more people that are doing transitioning from female to male.
Like intentional transitioning, more likely. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, thank you. Also, thank you for the word clitoromegaly. I will not forget that. Okay, let's take some questions. I'm going to kind of go through these backwards. So if you had a question you asked earlier and you remember what that was, shoot it to me again and we'll like pop it down into the feed so that we can see it. A couple people asked, or one of the questions that I saw on here was someone asking if gels and patches cause cancer, or if there might be some like downsides, I suppose, to taking testosterone that way.
Yeah, I think the biggest controversy with testosterone and cancer is specifically prostate cancer. And I was kind of like combing the research for this, and there was a VA study that looked at around 200,000 people, and they actually found that testosterone supplementation did not increase the risk of more aggressive forms of prostate cancer. And prostate cancer in itself is, there's a lot of different types. Like most prostate cancers are not going to cause death. It's very rare that you're going to get a prostate cancer that's really aggressive and die from prostate cancer. So it's still a controversial area. I would say if your levels of testosterone are low and it's affecting your health in a negative way, and you've tried all of the natural things to try to boost your body's testosterone levels, and you're still not getting the results that you want, it's probably okay to go ahead and take testosterone. And if you haven't been diagnosed with prostate cancer, like if you have prostate cancer, it's a little trickier, but that's already like if you have known prostate cancer. So that's really the main cancer that we're concerned about with testosterone.
Thank you so much for clarifying. I saw a couple other questions in here that were about does testosterone have an impact on erectile dysfunction versus arousal? And the answer is really both. Like the testosterone has an impact on arousal, has a huge impact on sexual desire in both men and women. Literally, like, do you want sex? Your libido is often affected by testosterone.
Men and women.
Yeah, and absolutely. Your ability to get and maintain an erection is also affected by testosterone.
Yep.
Someone asked if Viagra could decrease testosterone levels. I don't know, but I don't think so.
It would. Yeah, I think the mechanism is completely different. Viagra in general like dilates the arteries that are going into the penis. So I don't think that there should be any direct effect there.
Yeah, that would be my guess as well. Let's see. Ben from Australia, number one, they do ship the test kits to Australia. And you asked, would you take a second and Google the question that you're asking about converting that rate? He said, let me go down to where his was.
Converting.
He said he lives in Australia. His results were 17.9 nmol over L.
Okay, so we're looking at
so could you Google that?
Liters to deciliters. I want to like move that decimal point
It
over
could
by
be
one.
179.
I want to say 179. That's my guess.
Which would be then low for
so
a
I would say
39-year-old.
low. Yeah, that would be low T. Yep.
He also says that he has brain fog and other symptoms.
Yeah.
But he's been tested and was normal. So could he still be low? So number one, you could still be low.
You
get
could
tested
still be
again.
low,
Get checked again.
Again, it's just like one snapshot in time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like so many things that could be causing brain fog.
Mm-hmm.
There's other hormones that you could be getting checked, like your thyroid hormone, neurotransmitters, just like your gut health in general. So there's a lot of things that could cause brain fog that I would look into. So just getting kind of more comprehensive blood testing in general. But I always say a good place to start is just nutrition. You know, just trying to have a healthy diet.
Yes.
Plant-based, phytonutrient dense, all the colors of the rainbow.
Because it's going to address more than just testosterone.
It's going to address everything.
You're a complicated being.
Yeah.
This body is complicated. There's a lot of systems. They all interact with each other. They all affect each other.
Yep.
And taking care of something as easy as like what you're putting in your mouth is going to have a net positive on the whole system across the board. Okay, let's see a couple other questions here. Someone wanted to know, a striker asked, do prostate massages and pegging increase testosterone output? And then prostate massages, pegging, and prostate cancer. So I don't know that there's ever been a study on the relationship between prostate massages and testosterone levels. Uh-oh, did we shrink? Okay. I thought we paused for a second. But I do think that pegging and prostate massages are generally like, they can be confidence boosters. They can certainly make you feel sexually self-expressed. You feel good. You know, so I would say whether or not it boosts testosterone, if that's something that you get a lot of pleasure out of, it's good for you. Across the board. And then,
I forgot to mention, like with all the things that we're talking about, in general, you want to reduce the amount of stress that you have in your life.
Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about stress.
Cortisol.
It's like
cortisol is your stress hormone, and this is huge. This is one of the main drivers of chronic disease. So it's too high. Like, we are too stressed out in general.
Right. And we normalize stress.
Stress.
I worked 80 hours this week and I didn't take any breaks, and it's a badge of pride that a lot of us wear.
It is.
But it really is burning us out.
It is. And like there's different ways to manage your stress. So like we did talk about sleep. And that is a huge way to like reset everything. Exercise will reduce your cortisol levels. Other things that you can actually do is have more sex. That decreases your cortisol level. It's great for stress. Yeah. Yep.
See,
so like going back to the pegging, I think the pegging would help in general.
Less stress, more pegging.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I think that has an impact on stress that we don't often talk about is the denial of our desires.
Yeah.
Right. And like not feeling like we can really express ourselves. So like, you know, congratulations for you on already having discovered that pegging and prostate massage are things that you enjoy. And that there's people that are watching the stream and there's things that you want to try, but maybe you feel a little bit of like shame, reluctance, like you feel like, you know, it's not okay for you to want that, not okay for you to do that. Understand that suppressing your desires and suppressing your sexual identity and your sexual expression has a net stressful effect on your body. Like wishing that you were anything or anyone other than who you are is stressful.
Yep.
And trying to be something that you're not is stressful.
Yeah. Well, there's like, actually it's so interesting, like the state of mind you are before even like self-pleasuring, you know, like if there's any shame around that, then you can actually increase your cortisol, your stress hormone levels while you're self-pleasuring yourself, right? So it's like really exploring the deeper like psychological reasons as to why, you know, you're having sex and why you're pleasuring yourself, and like releasing a lot of the shame that goes along with that.
And like using that as a tool to release the shame. You know, a lot of men tell me that after they watch porn, as soon as they orgasm, they just feel like this intense shame. Mm-hmm. So that might actually be something that you're doing because you think it's stress relieving, and it's actually adding more stress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. For those of you who are wondering what pegging is, I had a video on it, so you can find it on my channel. But in short, it is a woman wearing a strap-on and penetrating a man in his butt. So it is like anal sex with a strap-on, woman on man, to give you the shortest possible answer.
Is it usually like that dynamic, or could it be like woman on woman?
I think if it was woman on woman, they would probably just, it would just be like anal sex. Like, they would probably,
okay.
right? Because like it would be a strap on for the most part, regardless.
Yeah.
Pegging has
or what
like
about
a special
like a woman
term.
wearing a strap on penetrating another woman in the vagina? Would that be still considered pegging?
No, that would just be, no, pegging is like always strap on man's ass.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that
I didn't know that.
like,
I thought it was just like anybody wearing the strap on could penetrate any hole.
Right, which isn't it wild that it needed its own word?
Yeah.
Like it was such a special
specific
category, it needed to get its own. I actually don't. I don't know
okay.
that much about where the language comes from, actually. I'd be
wow.
curious. Yes, exactly. So if you're interested, I did a whole video on that, and I talk about why people like it, which I think brings me back to the other part of that question, which was the relationship between prostate massage and prostate health. And my understanding is that the prostate it has fluids in it, and the regular release of those fluids is healthy for the prostate. And that's why prostate massage and pegging and prostate orgasm, where the prostate is being stimulated while your penis is being stimulated to ejaculation, is healthy for your prostate.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love it. Just got to release, build up of fluids. You got to let it go.
Gotta let it go. It's like the whole body is just like, every so often we just need to flush and like bring good stuff in too.
Yep.
Mike says there is girl on girl pegging and exercise, sleep, more sex with partner. I have to let her know. Oh, that's awesome, Stryker. I'm so happy. He says my video on pegging inspired him and his partner to try pegging, and they've been doing it once a week or so ever since.
Aww.
Yeah, so happy to hear that. Okay, we'll take a couple more questions. Again, I apologize if I didn't get to yours. The chat has been super duper active. I love seeing that. Let's pause for just a second, and I want everyone who hasn't right now to click the thumbs up on YouTube, on the app, on the desktop. There's 142 people watching at this exact moment, and there's 79 likes on this video. I bet we can hit easily 120 if we all focus really quickly on giving out thumbs up. Again, so yeah. I know for some of you, you're like, I gotta move my hands onto the screen. Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry, Clownish Gambino. Please post your question again. You have to understand, from my perspective, I only get to see the last like 10 posts. So if they're moving very quickly, I can't always see them. So please post your question again. I'll do my best to answer it. Yeah, I think pegging, anal play. We give the anus such a bad rap. But it's the second to the clitoris, the highest concentration of nerve endings on the entire body. So if you're not including the anus in your pleasure, whether that's self-pleasure or partner pleasure practice, then you're just missing out on like all these great nerve endings that can be really pleasurable.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Childish Gambino, I am looking for your question right now. Human growth hormone, is this it? Growth hormone in moderation isn't per se harmful. Oh, and I think we had a couple questions about marijuana and sperm. Okay, so let's start with that. Human growth hormone, per se harmful. Well, everything in moderation isn't per se harmful.
Right. It's interesting. I think you would have to like test your levels of human growth hormone, HGH, and it's one of those things where you're supplementing again, like exogenously, and will suppress your body's natural ability to make it. So it's always something you want to keep in mind when you are dealing with hormones.
Excellent. All right, I'm seeing, let's see here. Straight male here, never thought about it. Viagra or tail tissue. Oh, wow. Okay, we could get into the depths of all of that, but I think that we've given you a ton of information. Dr. Emily, oh my gosh, you're such a wealth of knowledge. Can you believe this was her first live stream? This is her first time on YouTube. Can you believe it? Let's all say, I want you all to say something that you thought about Dr. Emily and what a great job she did. Positive things only, so that when she looks back on this, she can remember when she goes to start her own YouTube channel, which she's going to do.
Thinking about it.
She's probably going to do.
Yeah.
If you all say wonderful things, give her honest feedback, but positive feedback about what a great job she did tonight. I think that would encourage her to share her brilliance for all to see.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been really fun being here, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, someone asked, you're asking such really, really, really good questions. So what I want you to do is, if you have questions, if you have additional questions, you want us to do another live stream, you want me to answer in in a more formal video, what I want you to do is go to bettersexcoach.com. It will redirect you to my website. You can fill out the contact form. And Dr. Emily and I have already discussed that we have so much more to discuss.
Yes.
There's so much that we can talk about. She is such an expert at what she does. And I'm just, every time I talk to her, I'm so completely blown away. What's the name for growing clit again? Clitoromagia?
Oh, clitoromegaly.
Clitoromegaly! That's going to
clit.
be my second channel.
Massive.
Clitoromegaly.
It's big.
It's so good. She's a wealth of information, an incredible human being. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was fun.
And thank you everyone who
for
tuned in.
Like expanding my testosterone knowledge.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks everybody. We'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, if you want to get your testosterone tested, you can go see your own doctor. You don't have to do it at home, but if you want to do it at home, try lgc.com/Caitlin. Use Caitlin20 for 20% off.
Yes,
boom,
yes.
Boom,
Test your T.
Test your T.
Test your T.